Hi guys, welcome to a new video of entertainment train, and today we're going to talk about the box office and the Oscars. Yes, the Oscars were yesterday. I stayed up until 5 a.m. Well, actually 6 a.m. over here in my country to see who won the best picture. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the box office right now. We have let's dive right in. Let's see the top five over here. We have Black Panther with 65 million with a 41% drop, which is very, very well done. I mean, we had a second weekend of 111 million bucks, and it still managed to just have a drop of 41%. That's really impressive. When we look at the top five openers of all time, we only see Star Wars Force Awakens to really beat Black Panther. Um, and in terms of drops per weekend, Last Jedi also beat Black Panther with a 26% drop, but its second weekend drop was about 67%, and for Black Panther, that was around 46, I think. So it's really doing well. There are actually more theaters right now where Black Panther is getting released. About 64 more, I can tell from the statistics. So that's really impressive. Red Sparrow with 17 million. It had a budget of 69 million, so I think the worldwide box office of Red Sparrow is around 43. Yeah, what to say about that? It's an R-rated film, so we of course know it's not gonna make huge bucks. It's also a very slow film, so that was kind of a disappointer for me. I thought it would be a little more action heavy, or a little more poignant with the story itself, and it wasn't that poignant. It was actually kind of boring in a lot of parts, and I think the word of mouth really caught up on that, and that's why it's kind of low with a 17 million opening, and of course Black Panther as competition as well. On number three, we have Death Wish with 13 point something million. Also an R-rated film with a budget of 30 million. So it'll make its budget back for sure. I think it's just a plain action film. It isn't fantastic or something. So yeah, Bruce Willis in an action film that will always sell for a bit. So I think it'll make his money back for sure. Game Night number four with 10 million bucks. Kind of disappointed about that. I really like Game Night. Game Night was such a funny comedy. You really, if you have not seen that film, go see it. Seriously, it's an amazing film with a budget of 37 million. It's on the low side. I hope it makes a lot more and it at least breaks even, because that was a very funny film. Peter Rabbit on number five, of course, the only animation we have in the cinemas right now, with a 50 million budget. It's gonna make its money back for sure. Yeah, Peter Rabbit, not my favorite animation, not even close to my favorite animation, but it is one of my favorite Sony animations, so that's pretty good. I mean, they came out with the Emoji film last year, which was a total crap film. So Peter Rabbit was actually kind of refreshing, so I'm happy about that. Some standouts: Jumanji, of course, Jumanji, 4 million, heading to the 930 million worldwide. What a triumph for the studio, for Dwayne Johnson, serious for everyone involved. They must be over the moon with these numbers, and I hope they will get paid all well and equal, right? Yeah, not a lot of standouts. I'm really happy with Black Panther. It's heading to the 900 million bucks worldwide in just 3 weeks. That's so impressive. Nobody would have thought that. Nobody would have thought that. Such an important film. Yeah, what else to say about it? I mean, it will make the 1 billion club for sure. It's gonna crush it. When it comes out in China, I think it will make another at least an additional 50 million bucks, right? So that's what we're going to. I think it'll crack the 1 billion for sure. Probably um, get a little bit past Civil War, but not a lot because the foreign box office is kind of disappointing. It's 400 million, um, so it's not a great number foreign wise. Yeah. So let's go on to the Oscars. So the Oscars. Let's talk about the Oscars. Okay. Let's pull up the winners here, right here. Beautiful. Okay, let me start with the biggest snub for me. Sound mixing for Dunkirk. Okay, listen, you're gonna agree with you're all gonna disagree with me probably, but I think Baby Driver was 10 times better in terms of sound editing and sound mixing than Dunkirk was. I am sorry, but it is the truth for me. I think Baby Driver is snubbed like hell and should have won. It really should have won. I was so pissed when Dunkirk won, and I think Dunkirk won because it didn't win in the other categories, and that's the only reason for me. At least for sound mixing, seriously, should have gone to Baby Driver. Okay, let's go to the big ones. We begin with adapted screenplay. We had Call Me by Your Name, The Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound. I, of course, wanted to Logan to win, but it was not gonna happen, and I knew that it was not gonna happen. Though the screenplay was amazing, it was not gonna happen. So, Call Me by Your Name won. Very pleased with that. I didn't have any problems with that. Original screenplay. So we had The Big Sick, we had Get Out, Lady Bird, Shape of Water, and Three Billboards. I was pulling for either The Big Sick or Get Out, and I was pleasantly surprised that Get Out won. I seriously was pleasantly surprised. I thought Three Billboards would get it. So happy Get Out won. I'm so happy he got the recognition that he deserved. Jordan Peele is gonna do so well in this business. I'm sure about that. Cinematography, we have Blade Runner 2049, we have Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, and The Shape of Water. I was hoping for Blade Runner, and thank God it won. Seriously, the cinematography in Blade Runner was amazing. Seriously amazing. Original score, we had Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water, Star Wars, and Three Billboards. I really couldn't care less though for original score. I thought Dunkirk would win because Hans Zimmer is amazing, right? But it won in the wrong categories, if you ask me. And Dunkirk won. Shape of Water won, which was a great score as well. But I think the score in Dunkirk was a little bit better, if you ask me. Then we have original song. A lot of songs were nominated. But it went to Remember Me from Coco. I was so happy about that. I loved Coco. I loved the animation. I was so glad it won Best Animation as well. And I was very, very pleased with the fact that Remember Me won. Because it is an iconic song, and a lot of kids are singing it right now. And it has a very memorable tune. It takes you back to the film, to the moments that were so important in the film. So I was very happy with that. Then we go to actress and leading role. We have Sally Hawkins, Frances McDormand, Margot Robbie, Saoirse Ronan, and Meryl Streep. I was afraid that Meryl Streep would win. I didn't think she was bad. I think she was average compared to the rest of the list. And I was pleased that Frances McDormand won. She was amazing in Three Billboards, but in Oscar history, it's a pattern. The pattern is that if somebody wins actress in a leading role, that movie won't win Best Picture. So I already knew Three Billboards was out, and a lot of people were disagreeing with me. You'll see what happened. So Frances McDormand, amazing performance. I was so happy with that. She had not a lot to work with, and yet you completely felt with her. She was relatable, and you resonated with her, which is uncommon for me to resonate with a woman. Because come on, I'm a man. Um, but I did resonate with her, and I resonated with her mothership. It's quite amazing. Uh, to see that though she didn't have the best relationship with her daughter, it crushed her. It crushed her to lose her. So yeah, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. We have actor in the leading role, Timothy Chalamet. From Call Me by Your Name, we had Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread. We had Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out. We had Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour, and we had Denzel Washington and Roman J. Israel. And Gary Oldman won, deservingly so. Gary Oldman disappeared as Winston Churchill. Seriously, seriously disappeared in his role. So I was very pleased with him winning this. It was his first Oscar. He thanked his mother in the most gorgeous way possible. Seriously loved it. His performance was amazing in the film as well. The film wasn't fantastic to me, but his performance really elevated this film to Oscar worthy. I was pulling for Daniel Kaluuya. The reason why is because that scene with the sunken place, the emotions he had to portray in that scene, and it was such a niche scene, right, where he was just sitting, and the mother of his girlfriend was pulling all the emotions out of him, and it really felt like his emotions went from his stomach up to his face, and his face was expressing everything. It was gorgeous, seriously amazing acting. So yeah, I was pulling for Daniel Kaluuya, but I'm very happy Gary Oldman won. Yeah, I was afraid Daniel Day-Lewis would win because this reportedly was his last film, but he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it. He was great. He deserves to be on this list, but he didn't deserve to win. Then we have Best Picture. We have Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, the Post, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I was pulling for a few here. I was pulling for Get Out. I was pulling for The Shape of Water and Three Billboards. And one of the three for one, I would be very, very happy. And The Shape of Water one, it's such a good film, guys. And freak shit, I forgot about directing. But Guillermo del Toro won directing for The Shape of Water, deservingly so, and he won Best Picture as well. I think those three films were so amazing in very different ways. The Shape of Water is about finding love in whatever it is. She found love in something she would never had a relationship with. In normal standards, right? And she did fell in love with something that was odd to others, hated even, but yet she couldn't keep her love back. So an amazing film. Three Billboards, again, for me, amazing as well. I loved everything about that film. I love the character arc of Sam Rockwell, who won Best Supporting Actor. Really deserved it, because he went from an asshole to a lovable character. And normally he had an accident, right? Because of Frances McDormand. Sorry, spoilers. And normally an accident like that would turn someone evil, and that's a lot of comic book story arcs. But this time he actually felt guilt, which was amazing. Seriously, it was amazing. So that story arc got to me, and that's why I liked him to have won his Best Supporting Actor, and he did. And Shape of Water, of course, and Get Out. Get Out. A lot of people say it's just a horror film. I don't think it's just a horror film. I think that film was so well done. The social messages this film has is so subtle. It's seriously so subtle. If you had not known he was putting social messages in there, you would have almost not noticed, because the thing, like, if Obama ran for the third term, I would have voted for him. That's such a random comment, yet it is, I think, very common for a lot of people to hear that. So things like that. It was pretty funny, and of course, a lot of people didn't like the third act, and I think that might be the reason why it didn't win Best Picture. Um, yeah, but such an amazing directed film. I'm so happy for Jordan Peele that he won an Oscar. I hope it really motivates him to do a lot more great stuff. Yeah. Um, Something else. Oh yeah, an actress in supporting role for Allison Janney. I was super happy about that. I, Tanya, if you have not seen it, it's a very good film. The characters that they were portraying were actually portrayed pretty damn well. If you have seen Tanya's mother in interviews, you can literally see um, her personality just come up while she's talking, and I think Alison Janney did that perfectly. Seeing herself as a tough mother while being quite abusive um, is hard to pull off, because as a character you have to be like, I'm not evil, I'm just being a tough mother. Um, but at the same time, she did abuse her. So yeah, amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Yeah, that was about it. I was pretty thrown back by the fact Baby Driver didn't win for sound editing. Seriously, I thought he had it in the bag. Yeah, so that was quite upsetting actually, but that's fine. It's fine. It's the Oscars. We get snubs all the time, and maybe it's not a snub for you. It was a big ass snub for me. Um, Other stuff, other stuff, other stuff. No, that was about it, guys. That was about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.